Now, News Extra on KNEB. It's brought to you by First State Bank, Scottsbluff and Yarn. Here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. And we're going to talk about the 8th annual, believe it or not, Harvest Night. Coming up this Friday night, we have Perry Mater and Triniti Burgner here from Scottsbluff Parks and Recreation to talk about their big event. Something they started, and it's very original, something they did, and it's really gone well. I mean, you guys have ended up with, thousands of people actually out there on this thing, right?
You know, it kind of depends on the weather, but I think you're going to
be good on that.
Yeah, we've had as many as, I think our first year we had maybe 1,000, give or take, and then, they really blew up, and we had some nice weather, and we thought, somewhere between that 3,000 and 4,000 mark. And that's not necessarily all at one time. They kind of come and go. But yeah, I mean, it's a well-attended event. It's, it's free except for the concession stands. For a couple of bucks, you can get, some water and your s'more packets and stuff. But, we just like to keep the ball rolling. I think we've got a great event, and, those numbers kind of show that. So.
Yeah. 5 to 9 p.m. Friday night over at Riverside Park. Some of the things you guys are doing, Perry, just touch on just a few of them, then we'll take it over to Triniti here real quick.
Some of the old standard things that we've had, the hay rack ride and the floating pumpkins, and we have the corn bins and the glow wall that people are familiar with. We keep doing it because it's successful. We always try and keep an eye on what works and what doesn't, and if we need to thin things out or add. But the hay rack ride is probably the premier part of it, and in the past we've had really long lines, and we're trying to work on that a little bit. We have different stalls lined up this year and different drop-off points and pickup points. They're all in the same area, but they're just configured differently this year, so we're going to try and make things go a little bit faster. We still have 6 tractors pulling trailers, so some of those old standard things. I shouldn't say old because it's only 8 years, but very popular attractions.
All right. Then you have some of the new things you're doing, Triniti. You're doing the petting zoo. That's kind of what you've done before, but you have some other things you're going to do this year.
Yeah, the petting zoo will be back, and then this year we've added an outdoor yard game area. So we have a giant checkerboard and a giant cornhole game and another game as well. So that'll be a new addition this year. Should be fun.
Yeah. You have an outdoor movie area. What kind of movies do you show?
Well, in the past we've done just like cartoon shorts and also just Husker highlight videos. So
yeah.
we'll let that remain a mystery until
remain a mystery
until Friday night.
Okay. All right. Well, if you do Husker highlights, you got plenty of those so far this year,
right.
So that'd be good.
Right.
All right. And some of the other stuff we wanted to touch on is this doesn't get done without volunteers, sponsors, that type of stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah, lots and lots of volunteers. Around 55 volunteers, along with our park staff and the two of us. Altogether about 65 people. That's
pretty good. We'll run through some of the sponsors. I can tell you right now it's absolutely free except for one particular area. We'll tell you about that right after this.
We loan money for agriculture. The money we use to make the loans comes from the investments of our customers. We loan you the money to plant your crop or buy livestock. And when you sell, you save with us, keeping the money available for your next loan. That's how we finance agriculture. It's a growing relationship. Stop by and see us. Let's talk. First State Bank. Member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
All right, we're back on News Extra. We're talking about the 8th annual Scottsbluff Parks and Recreation Harvest Night coming up this Friday night, 5 to 9 p.m. over at Riverside Park. And a lot of fun activities like they always have, hay rack ride, the corn bins, s'mores, and the hot dogs, all that stuff. You're going to have yard games this year. They have an outdoor movie area, the whole 9 yards. And like we said, we have Perry Mater and Triniti Burgner here. Now, they do this with the benefit of a lot of sponsors, Triniti. And let's kind of go through that list of sponsors there.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't do it without all of our sponsors. Appreciate their help so much. We have Crossroads Cooperative, Co-op Main Street Market, 21st Century Equipment, Sandberg's, Heilbrun's, Westco, the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts have been with us every year, and they've manned those fire pits for us every year. So we appreciate that so much. Our Parks Foundation Board, lots of employees from the city who help out either, in the morning getting ready or that evening. Scottsbluff Fire and PD, Upward Bound students, numerous volunteers from the community, and Zion Evangelical Youth Group is going to be the one doing the hot chocolate this year.
All right, that's cool. And I don't know, it's probably going to be about 65. Might even be at 5 o'clock. It's going to be pretty warm. Might even be close to 75, 80. Well, hot chocolate's good, even at that.
Well, when the sun goes down, it's going to get
cold. It'll get cool.
It'll get cold fast.
It's cool pretty quick. That's right. All right, so the one thing, Perry, that's not free is the concession area. What kind of concessions you got?
Well, we have the s'more packets, and then the hot dogs, and some beverages that we have, and we'll do that a little differently this year. Again, because we had one central area where we sold concessions, and it got very crowded. So we're going to split that out, and we're going to have two different concession areas. We're going to put the s'mores out closer to the fire pits, and that'll kind of help alleviate some of the traffic around that one area. So. And it's, pretty minimal cost. I think the s'more packets is still $1, and, we've toyed with the idea of making the other stuff just a little bit more. And keep in mind that this money goes back to our foundation. The foundation pays for these. We put the money back into the foundation so we can roll these funds back into the event. Every year there's something we have to purchase, and it's not a cheap event to put on, and we get a lot of in-kind things through our sponsors. But we do need a little bit of, income to be able to do some of this. So that's why we charge at the concession stands. We'd love to make everything free, but it's just not possible to do.
All right. Very good. So remember what this benefits, and that's keeping this event going every year. So again, 5 to 9 p.m. over at Riverside Park this Friday night. We appreciate Perry Mader and Triniti Burgner coming in on our News Extra program today. Thanks guys.
For having us. Thank you.
On the air, online, and streaming live on your mobile device. Radio 960 KNEB. Scottsbluff
Is over. It's time to hit the campaign trail once again. Voters in the two states where Hillary Clinton and